Writing Prompts, WP. You are watching TV during a storm when you hear a knock. At your door is a woman wearing a dress made of leaves and carrying a bottle. She looks at you sheepishly. Hello, this may be a tad strange. I am the tree in your front yard, and this storm looks to be getting worse. Can I come inside? I yawned, flicking through the TV channels with the same disinterest I had every night. Seen it? Don't want to see it. Boring. How many dating shows can they have? I don't care if they're dating near an active volcano, seen one failed couple, seen them all, I murmured, tossing the remote onto a nearby pillow, wanting to show my frustration with the channels without breaking my only means of turning the TV off. Maybe I should just go to bed, get an early sleep like a normal person, I said, only to curl up deeper against the couch cushions, unable to commit to leaving the warm spot I had created. My body almost merging with the red cushion fabric as I stayed glued to it. Boom, boom, boom. The door rattled as a heavy hand collided with it. The sound like that of a wooden bomb, with the door wobbling after each hit. That pulled me from the couch, getting me to my feet in a panic. Hello? My voice wavered, too shocked to put on any fake bravery. I had always been more of a flight than fight type person, but this was my home. If my home was invaded, where else could I find safety? Against my better judgment, I neared the front door, hearing the crackling of heavy raindrops bouncing off the glass, something I hadn't noticed with the TV's blaring volume. Pressing my forehead against the window, I squealed, seeing a woman staring back at me, her green, wet hair damp across her face, revealing only two glowing brown eyes that peered out from underneath the hair like they were looking out of thick vines. "Let me in, please," she said, her brown palm dragging along the window, revealing scratchy skin with small dark lines that traced along it. "Who are you?" I asked. "Tree?" she responded. If I weren't so frightened, I would have thought it was a stupid name, but she could have called herself the cute and cuddly non-threatening lady, and I still would have feared her. Too creeped out to think straight. The tapping at the window didn't go away, forcing me to face the fact that I would have to confront this tree. I nervously gripped the handle. Ghost ladies aren't real, neither are demons. It's probably some poor confused lady. Don't scream in her face and don't start crying. I said that under my breath before opening the door. Yeah. She threw her arms around me, pulling me into a hug. Her body felt scratchy and tough, though with an odd warmth that emanated from her, despite the heavy rain that dripped from her leafy dress. When she let go of me, I got a better look at her. Beautiful brown skin, with intricate black lines that moved up her arms and body like veins. She was wearing a dress made of leaves, one that matched her leafy hair. Leafy hair? In the past, I would have considered it rude to stare at a person for this long, though this felt like an exception. She looked to be in her 50s, and had a calm, beautiful smile, one that made me think of a motherly figure. Then I noticed it, something that made me step back. "Those are the leaves from my tree. How did you get them?" She gave me a sheepish look. Well, I'm the tree from your front garden. The storm's a little rough, so I was hoping I could stay inside for the night." When she saw my confused expression, she made an ah face, as if she had forgotten something important. She pulled out a bottle of wine from her dress, handing it to me. "That's right. Humans expect offerings when someone enters their domain. Is this okay?" I held the unlabeled wine bottle, remaining stuck in a stunned silence for a few seconds before looking past her. "One moment." "Okay." I stepped outside, not caring if the rain was battering my face, too curious to care. As I made my way to the garden, I found my tree missing. Only a circle of dirt remaining in the spot, showing where it had previously been. "It's gone." I considered the idea that someone had stolen it, but that made little sense. The area was too clean for that, and to lift a tree of that size would have been a job that needed a crew of at least 6 people. Surely I would have noticed that. When I returned to my home, I found her already seated on the couch, fidgeting with the remote. She kept hitting random buttons, turning the volume up and down, the TV on and off, until finally she switched the channel. She surfed them until she landed on a gardening channel, smiling. May we watch this? Yeah, okay. I grabbed some wine glasses, handing her one before pouring us both a drink. At this point, I had accepted that I had either gone mad or this was actually happening. Not seeing any reason to fight the madness, I embraced it, going along with this strange situation. So, if you're my tree, you must know a lot about me. She stopped watching the man on TV plant a row of roses, instead turning to me with a wide grin. Ah, yes. I always keep an eye on you. You always whistle that song every morning. Oh, and you get rather upset when the birds run away from you. You also forget your belt most days when you go to work, she said, listing off the first things that came to mind. I sipped my wine, having to accept that she knew me. Those were all things that only someone would know if they saw me every morning, especially the whistling part. I don't get upset, it's just, why do they run away from me? I only want to pat them. She thought about that before standing up, her height at least a foot or two taller than me. She reached out her hand, pushing it towards my face as if she planned to strangle me. I sunk back into the cushion, only for her to stop before she touched my face. That's what your kindness looks like to the birds. If you leave some food out for them, I'm sure they will come around to you. They don't hate you, they just don't understand you. She then patted my head, running her fingers through my hair as if she were my mother. So, you can turn into a human? Or something close to a human? I asked, lightly pushing her hand away from my head. Most trees can once they reach a certain age. Don't fret though. If we are about to be cut down, we can move back into the soil or roots. We will always find a way to survive and be reborn, whether it's in a new tree or plant, or the one that has been felled. A certain age. How old are you? She thought about that, struggling to come up with a number. I was old enough to see your grandparents when they lived here. What a lovely couple they were. They talked about you a lot. She sighed. I still fondly remember those days where you sat under my shade as a child, dozing off as I kept you safe from the heat. What wonderfully simple times they were. I miss them a lot. Things were a lot less stressful back then. I finished my wine and went to reach for the bottle, only to stop myself. If I had another, I would probably put myself to sleep. Yes, humans do carry a lot of stress. She politely sipped her wine before setting the glass down. She gave her lap a pat. Do you wish to rest once more? I can't offer you any shade at this moment, but perhaps I can offer you some comfort. While it felt strange to sleep on a stranger's lap, there was something nostalgic about this. A feeling that brought me back to those simpler times. Something that made me feel like I had known this woman all my life. I rolled onto my back, resting my head against her lap, staring up at her. She patted my head again in slow, soothing touches as I drifted to sleep. Rest well, she said. The sound of the morning news woke me up, the two hosts talking about how the storm had passed during the early morning, and now we were in for a glorious period of sunshine. What an odd dream, I murmured, sitting up, trying to spot the woman. She was gone, of course. Why would I have expected her to be here? It was all a dream. I told myself, only to see the wine glasses and the bottle still sitting by the couch. So, it was real? I sniffed the bottle, and it smelt like what I remembered from last night, and it also didn't have a label or any sign of being store-bought. I cleaned up the glasses before walking outside, seeing the tree in its normal position. When I was certain none of my neighbors were looking, I hugged it. Thank you. Feel free to come inside if you ever feel the need to, I said, returning to my home. If you enjoyed this, feel free to check out my subreddit /r/sadnesslofts where I'll be posting more of my writing.